now. Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid, it is time for him to step aside as Senate Majority Leader after he called many frightened and hurt Americans liars.
There's plenty of horror stories being told. All of them are untrue.
It's astonishing behavior.
He insulted thousands of Americans.
Harry Reid, it's all lies. There is no problem. Nobody's having a problem. Nobody's been canceled. Harry Reid's actually out there said that. It's all lies.
This is not the case that we are seeing in our practices and with stories patients are telling us.
He goes to the floor and says people who are hurt, that it's all made up.
All of them are untrue.
It's not true. It's me and Fox News making all that up.
It is outrageous. It's an insult, and he should apologize.
Certainly doesn't lend credit to the Senate, particularly for the majority leader.
There are massive amounts, massive numbers of victims of Obamacare. You know them and I know them.
All of them are untrue.
And right now, our political panel, the Washington Examiner, Susan Ferriccio, USA Today's Kirsten Powers, and the Weekly Standard's John McCormick. Susan, first, we called every U.S. senator on the Democratic side today to see if he would come on and defend Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid's statement. Senator Murphy said he'll come on Monday, so he did say so. The other ones declined or were unavailable. But why is he still the Senate Majority Leader? Is it because he's good? Because the Democrats are afraid of him, or because they like him in the job?
Well, a combination of all those things. But one thing to keep in mind is how long he will be in that job. It all hinges on the 2014 election. He says he's going to run for a sixth term. He is known for making these comments that have set people off, be it about...
That's not a comment. That's actually,
an accusation,
that's actually
yes.
a lie, because there are people who have been hurt. That's a lie. It's not a comment.
He said things that have really been considered outrageous in the past, and it just people forget about it after a while. His biggest problem is he's really stirred up a hornet's nest here with this health care comment, because so many people have lost their health care and have been hurt by this, by the rollout of healthcare.gov. And so you're really hitting people at where it hurts them the most, with their health insurance, their health care, their doctors. People are losing cancer treatment. This is really serious. So he's really stirred up a hornet's nest. The bigger problem for him is what the health care law is doing for Democrats in the 2014 election. Republicans have a very significant opportunity to take the Senate. There are 5 seats that are either toss-up or really, in Republican territory, and they're now held by Democrats. They're really just a few seats away, which means he won't be the majority leader in 2014. And it will probably be because healthcare.gov, though not necessarily because of the comments he made, because he says stuff like this all the time that really gets people upset.
He said horrible things before. He made an accusation without that anonymous person, credible source, told him that Mitt Romney didn't pay taxes. That was terrible. He said that President Obama was light-skinned, had no Negro dialect, had to apologize for that. But the politicians, they're big boys and big girls. This statement he made went to the American people who are scared and hurt. So how does he stay majority leader?
Well, I think he did say they're not all true, right? That's what he said. So
yes.
It wasn't saying that none of them are true. He just was saying they aren't all true.
No, he said you've heard the horror stories, and they are all untrue.
Okay, that's not what I heard. I heard him say they're not all true. But
we can run it again,
whatever. I mean, I may be wrong.
If I'm wrong, then he has some wiggle room.
Yeah.
But it's still bad.
But look, I think that I don't think he's not going to lose his majority leadership over this. And I think that
what do they say about him?
Because I think Nancy Pelosi said something very similar, and it's problematic. And a lot of Democrats have come out and claimed that people are not suffering under Obamacare, that it's being exaggerated. And I don't know why they're saying that, because of course people are suffering. There's no question.
How do you get away with saying something? People, for whatever, there are people who are scared. There are people who have lost their policies. I'm sure that there's some false stories, but there are certainly a lot of legitimate stories.
Yeah, there are legitimate stories. I lost my, I ended up being able to extend it, but I'm going to have to go into the exchanges and pay double for insurance that's exactly the same as what I had before. So when I hear people talking about this, I think, well, I know that's not true because I personally experienced it. So I can't justify them saying these things, but I don't think he's going to lose his leadership over it.
John, how do they keep him?
He's been happy to be the party's hatchet man in the past, as you mentioned, saying Mitt Romney didn't pay taxes without any evidence to back that up. I think this one's going to backfire, though, because like you said, people know someone who's lost their health care plan, who's paid hundreds and hundreds of dollars more. I know I do. You obviously do. And more to the point, if you cancel 6 million people's health care plans, of course some of those people are who lose their doctors, of course some are going to have cancer. And that's the issue. You said these are all not true, and obviously some are going to be very sick.
Even beyond that, how do you have your spokesperson, the one who's supposed to to lead the Senate Majority Party. How do you have your spokesperson get up there and just say something that's just so bad like that? And it's not against another politician, but it's against the American people.
Well, that's totally Harry Reid's reputation as being a ruthless.
I mean, you guys remember in the last election, a lot of Democrats were hoping he was going to lose. They wanted Chuck Schumer to take over and be the leader. And that was a really sincere hope in the Senate that he was going to lose his seat. He came very close to losing it, but he didn't.